What do you feel for your kids as individuals? Do they have any characteristics that you just love? Are there things about them you don't really like, but you can respect because they are individuals too? I also want you to think about what it is that you would do for them. Now, I don't say to protect them, because as a parent, you'll do a lot of things to protect your children, and yet the world will find its way to them. So when me and Tiffany had to announce to the girls that we were getting a divorce, I don't know, guys, I was a wreck because I thought it was all just like a dream that it would just go away. I couldn't believe that was the world I was living in. I'm actually announcing to my children that we're going to have a divorce. And when we were in the attic, when we broke the news to the girls, they came, they sat down. Tiffany was across from me, sitting with the girls, looking at me, and she broke the news first. And she looked at me as if I was to confirm what she said. And I did. But to open up about it in front of my girls, I felt like my whole world was crashing because I never wanted that. I've always wanted you guys. I've always wanted like little sisters. I was raised in a house full of boys. I'd had my sisters, obviously, but they were always gone. Raised in a house full of boys. And so it was me and my younger brother, Terrence, and I wanted a little sister. Always wanted a little sister. God blessed me and Tiffany with 3 girls. And I love each and every one of them, individually, but also together as well. And so to break that kind of news to them, I expected them to kind of break down. I expected it. I expected them to be confused. Like they say, most kids, they're confused, they're angry, they're surprised, they're shocked. You know, all of the stuff that you see on TV, you know, that's kind of like where my examples come from. But it was none of that. The girls just looked at me and said, well, okay. We kind of thought you and mommy were going to get divorced. And the girls also let me know, I think it was Skylar, my oldest, who let me know, well, all the other students in my class, all the other girls' parents are divorced, so I guess I'm just one of them too. And I don't know how it was for Tiffany, you guys, but it bothered me. It hurt me. Because the one thing that I set out and I was always afraid of happening was all of a sudden exactly what was happening. That my girls were going to quite potentially live in separate homes where their parents were no longer together. And the fact that it felt like they took it so well was almost like it was expected. Growing up, I was taught as a young black man that there are things that are expected of me, both good and bad. One of those things just happened to be not being in the same home with my children. That it's commonplace for a black man to not be found with his children's mother under the same roof. That they would have to have pickup dates and baby daddy issues, the jokes that they would have to face, the stereotypes that people would place on them because their father was no longer under the same roof with them. It bothered me a lot. So what could I do? The only thing that I could do was continue to pray for my children, for my wife, and for my home. I prayed over my children before they left for school. I wanted to get to know them while I was still with them. And I came to know my children on a deeper level. My oldest daughter wants to be a pediatrician. She loves doing her hair. She's afraid of not being liked. Her favorite color is purple. She loves how strong her dad is, and she loves how graceful her mother is. She can't stand her little sisters, but she'll protect them no matter what. My middle child, Camille, athletic, growing tall and taller every day. She reminds me of me when I was her age, full of life, constantly laughing and joking. But without her, the house feels empty. And then there's Azalea, who looks like me, just a little lighter, young, full of wonder, afraid of the dark. She knows nothing about the issues between me and her mom. She knows none of the issues that any extended family members may have. So we've got to see life through a 5-year-old's eyes, who is unaffected because everybody in her life have done well to keep the nonsense and drama from her eyes. Maybe in a sense it's selfish of me because I want to protect that. But I know one day somebody's going to have to tell the truth. And when we do, she takes it. And she does with it very well. She's smarter than I even imagined. Get to know your children on a deep level. Understand with them. Level with your children. They know it's not easy. They know how hard it can be. And yeah, sometimes they'll realize that they don't appreciate everything you have to do to maintain not only your own composure, but your own motivation and your faith with God. But if you don't talk to them, if you don't allow them to talk to you, then you're missing out on the best and most unconditional type of love God can show you. And that's through the love of your children. If you want to be a good parent, work hard to not set your children against their other parent. Fostering hard feelings will only create resentment in your children's heart towards either your spouse or you. They will grow up and make their own decisions. Who do they want to communicate with? Who do they want to be around? Who do they feel most comfortable with? The last thing you want to do is build up a feeling of resentment and anger and contempt towards your spouse that your children will adopt. Because then it will become their problem as they become older and they start to create their own families. It's a generational curse, a perpetual cycle of dysfunction. Before you go to work, wherever it is that you work, before they go to school, pray over your kids. Look at them. Maybe they're eating breakfast. Maybe they're calling you before they go to class or go to school. Maybe they want you to watch the grandkids, or maybe they want you to play with their dolls. Maybe they want you to play with their action figures. Do it all. Be a good parent and do it all. Write something for them. Draw something. Get a microphone. Record your voice reading their favorite book. Send them an e-card. I think that's what they call it. Send them an e-card, giving them some motivation for the day. Tell them what you love about them and what makes them special to you. Protecting them, that's part of your job. providing food, that's part of your job. Getting them ready for school, letting them make their own decisions in life, that's part of your job. Go the extra mile and show them and tell them how special they are to you as your child and as individuals. I guarantee that is a wonderful track to being a good parent. That's going to do it for today's episode, you guys. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment, question. Send me a message. What do you think of today's topic? Maybe you have some input. Whatever it is, we accept it all. Until next time, you guys, have a blessed day.